Hey guys, how's it going? Well, there's a wagon here, but it sure ain't no Volvo. Thank the Lord. This is a 1983 Olds Cutlass Cruiser wagon that I picked up off of Craigslist last weekend, and I just now had time to kind of start going through it and seeing what with it. You saw the video before on the trailer. You saw how dirty it was, so I've been going through and cleaning it up, preliminary cleaning it up. It'll take a pretty good bit of cleaning, but it's coming right along. It's looking a lot better. It's a really neat car. I've had several of these cars. I've had a Century wagon, I've had a 78 and an 81 Le Mans wagon. I've had another Cutlass Cruiser, which I'll go through that in another video, those cars. This car is actually on the internet. If you Google 1983 Olds Cutlass Cruiser, it will bring up pictures of this car. And I'll just give you while I'm walking around here, just give you the quick rundown. Evidently this car was running and driving as of a couple years ago, about 2.5 years ago, when the guy that I got it from just got it. He was going to put a 350 Olds in it, and for whatever reason he just bought it as it was running and clean and in good shape, and parked it in the woods beside his house and let it sit there for 2.5 years or so. And then I guess when he, like so many people, realized that he wasn't going to be able to take time off from being busy like we all are, it seems like these days, when he didn't have time to do that, he put it up on Craigslist, and I was the first one there to pick it up. And let me tell you, I've been having brake problems out of that truck over there, and I've had to get it worked up enough to go over there and get it and come back. But I had to, because he had a line of people behind me waiting on it, so I wasn't going to let this one slip out of my hands. So just to tell you what it is, it's just basically just it's a 3.8 liter Buick V6. It's power steering, power brakes, like they all have, cruise control, and air conditioning, and that's about it. It's a pretty basic car. It's got power door locks but no power windows. I've seen that before. I don't know why that is, but it's got the old style cruise control. This is a style that uses the cable transducer. I'm very familiar with these cars. I've had several besides just the wagons, and I really like them. They make an awesome daily driver. But it's been a while since I've seen a 3.8 liter, a 231. We ain't gonna call them a 3.8. We're gonna call them a 231. A 231, it's just stock. This thing is as stock as they ever came. There's still got the smog pump on it. Still got all that. I hadn't checked to see if it's got a converter in it. But the problem with it is that since it's sat, what's going on over here? This is two people I've seen back up over there in the road, turn around. He's going home, I guess. Bunch of whack jobs. That's all this neighborhood is. A bunch of whack job residents. I guess they live there. Anyway, I'm sorry, but we couldn't get it to pick up any gas. So I don't know what the condition of the gas is. If it's like any of them that's set for 2 years, it probably ain't too good. But so we ran it off ether temporarily, trying to get it to pick up gas, and it wouldn't do it. So either the fuel pump's stuck, or something in the carburetor is plugged up, the inlet's plugged up, or something. So I'll deal with that probably tomorrow. But the engine sounded good, and he said it didn't run too well, but it sounded good as long as we ran it. You know, he seemed surprised how good it ran, so that tells me it probably was having carburetor problems, because these carburetors, they can get kind of hinky sometimes, and people, you know, these days, I don't know how to work on them, so they just start tearing wires off and tearing vacuum hoses off and bypassing it, as I've said before. But we're not going to bypass anything. I think it 40 something years old, I have the capability to make one of these cars run good as it came from the factory, and that's what we're going to do. So I've already had that air cleaner off, and I've already seen several broken vacuum lines. I've already seen a dangerously hacked together choke wire and some other things, so we'll be looking at that coming up. But the rest of it's pretty nice under here, can't complain. The car's got the clear coat peeling off of it, and I think it's been painted once, and the reason I have my suspicion is because that these stripes, these are tape stripes, and Oldsmobile in this era usually painted their stripes on. They had a paint roller that they did it with, but can you believe that? But they did. And the interior is decent. It's about like 150,000 mile G-body interior. It's got a clock, that's nice. It's got an aftermarket stereo with some wirage hanging out of the back of it. I'm gonna have to investigate that. It didn't stay in there all the way either. But this is a kind of an unusual color interior. It's just kind of a parchment color, and I've never seen this on a G-body before. I've always seen blue and burgundy and gray, and I've seen this shade. This is a brown. I know it may look gray on the computer, but it's actually brown, kind of a dark, medium dark brown. And it's got that, so it's really a kind of a neat color combination. I would have figured it would have a burgundy interior, but I don't know. So I'll do some more sprucing on it, but tomorrow's goal is going to be to see if I can get it to run on its own. It's got a presumably a 200C transmission. That's the 300. That's the 3-speed automatic that everybody used to hate. Because when these cars were fairly new, they failed pretty often, so we'll see if that works. Somebody's got rough with a cruise control switch here. But these are easy to replace. You can buy the whole thing aftermarket. So steering wheel is kind of rough, but I'll be replacing that probably. Long range plans. It had a steering wheel cover on, but the only problem was the steering wheel cover was too big, and you turn the steering wheel and the cover turned and the steering wheel did not turn. So that wasn't good. And it's rust free for the most part, except it has two pretty significant rusty spots, and I've never seen this on one of these cars before. It's got one right here, and it's got one over here. Not in the same place, but nearly. So I don't know what caused that. This is not a northern car. It came from Asheville, North Carolina. It was bought new in September of 1983 at Skyland Olds in Asheville, and that dealership is still in existence. It's called Skyland Automotive Group, but they're still around. And actually, if Google is telling me the truth, and doesn't Google always tell the truth, but according to what I found, the guy that owned this car originally is still alive. He's like 91 years old, so he's hanging in there. So anyway, that's just the walk around and the overview of it. I had to clean these seats up. They had mold on them. Not too bad, but you know, I don't understand it, guys. Is how people can take a pretty car like this and just park it. You know, and I saw that guy. I'm not trying to run him down or anything, but I saw the guy's house on Google Maps when I was going over there. And he lived in a nice house, and usually that's the case of it. You know, they don't care. Just an old car. Anyway, I'll tell you, through history, it's served me well on these cars, and I'll tell you from looking, this car probably already has the original radiator in it, and it's gunked up, and it's probably going to start leaking quickly after we get this thing running again. But usually that and the carburetor are the only things that ever really cause problems with these. somebody's kind of doing a little bit of a rat rod look here. They've got different size tires on the front than they do the back. They've got like these are 70 series on the back, which is what's supposed to be on it, and then it's got 60 series up here, and I don't go for that look, so I'll probably be replacing those. But you know, I tell you, if you're looking for a nice, fun car to work on, one of these, not necessarily even a wagon, but a G-body GM like a Monte Carlo or a Grand Prix, Cutlass, Regal, that kind of thing. They're just awesome cars to work on because there's a lot of parts availability. There's parts that swap over. You can put sway bars off a Camaro on these. You can put the rear end out of a Grand National in it. You can put the whole running gear out of a Grand National. The guy's done that actually in one of these. You can put just about any engine you want to in this except a 350 Chevrolet. You can, but don't ask me how to do it, because I'm not going to tell anybody how to do that. But just a huge amount of part swappage can go on with these. So I love them. I've been looking for another one. I was looking at a Regal, but you know, the difference between this car not running and that stupid Volvo not running is like night and day. This one doesn't send you spiraling into a deep depression over what you're going to do to get it running. You get a can of starting fluid out and get it to run. So alright guys, I'm going to cut her off here. It's getting a little dusky. I think I'm going to do just a little bit more cleaning up inside down there, because I tell you, I can't deal with a dirty car, especially one that's got dust and dirt and junk and crap all over it. Just can't deal with it. So this will get the engine clean and I can start working on it tomorrow. I hope that gas tank's not full of old gas. Jeez, I have to drain every bit of that out. I hope not. We'll see. Well guys, we'll tune in again next time. See ya.